Hey y'all, it's Erica, and I am here today with my Friday reads. I will probably be uploading this late Thursday night again because a lot of times on Friday I work like 14, 15-hour shifts, and there's just no time in that day for me to upload anything. So, sorry if my voice sounds weird. I've been a little under the weather. I thought I had strep throat. I don't have strep throat, luckily, but I am a little sick, and so if I sound weird or look like I've been hit by a truck, that's why. So without further ado, these are the books I finished this week and what I will be working on this weekend. The first thing I finished this week is Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion. As you can see, I really enjoyed the writing in here. You can see all my tabs. Really enjoyed Joan Didion's writing style. There were a lot of essays that I liked more than others. There's a section in the middle called, oh boy, personals, just personal essays that I liked a lot more than some of the more like journalistic type essays. So I'm still thinking this over. I still don't really know how I feel about it, but I think when I reach some conclusions, if I reach some conclusions, I'll be doing a full review on it because it's very interesting and I've heard a lot of people talking about Joan Didion lately. So there's that. For now, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, but again, I'm still kind of chewing on it. I don't really know. It's one of those books that wasn't wrapped up nicely for me. Like, I don't have any concrete feels about it yet. So I will talk about that later, hopefully. The next thing I finished is The Metamorphosis and Other Stories by Franz Kafka. I really, really liked the story, The Metamorphosis, which I had never read before, so that was really good. And I liked some of the other stories. I had a couple of other favorites in here as well, but then a lot of them fell kind of flat for me. And I commented on somebody's video lately. It might have been Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings, and I said that I always have trouble rating short story collections, like giving them a star rating, because it's so hard when you love a lot of the stories, but then a few of them fall flat for you. So overall, as a whole, I gave this collection 3 stars. But I think I might, in my Goodreads review section, where where you type your reviews in, I think I might, in the future, with short story collections, go through and name each story and give each individual story a star rating. Because I don't want to dissuade anyone from picking this up because I only gave it 3 stars, because it was good. It just wasn't all as good as some of it was, if that makes sense. But I do recommend reading Kafka if you haven't read him yet. He clearly has quite a dark and twisted mind. His prose is very easy to get along with, and again, I liked most of these stories. Also, so on Halloween night, I did nothing. I locked myself in my house and didn't talk to anybody. My fiance was at work, and I am not interested in going out and parading around with strangers in costume. It's just not my thing. Sorry. But on Halloween night, I started reading The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, and I finished that this week. This was really, really good, okay? I said that if I didn't like this, I was giving up on trying to be a Neil Gaiman fan. Consider me converted. I love this. It was so good. It was so atmospheric. As far as children's stories go, it was awesome. So this book starts off with a mysterious man in a dark cloak coming into this family's house and killing everyone except an infant boy, which was very Harry Potter-esque sounding to me. I don't know about you. So at first I was rolling my eyes a little bit, but the boy survives. He crawls out of the house and ends up in a spooky old graveyard where he then grows up amid ghosts and stuff. And he goes on all kinds of cool adventures. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I think I would have given it 4.5 stars out of 5 if I could have. But as of now, it's sitting at 4 out of 5 stars, and it is by far my favorite Neil Gaiman book yet. I read this for #ReadKidsLit, and I will probably, in the spirit of Read Kids Lit month, do a full review on this soon. So those are the 3 books I finished this week. I also started 3 more. I know I was just talking about how I'm not one of those people who can read more than 1 book at a time, and the last 2 weeks I've been reading 3 books at a time. I know that this is going to end badly, but right now I'm reading 3 books at the same time. They're all very different, and they're all from different genres, so that might be helping a little bit. But I started this week reading Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. And I know I said in my November TBR video that I wasn't sure if I was going to like this. I'm about 80 pages in, and I really like this. This is very interesting. In the first couple of chapters so far, she is discussing how extroversion became the ideal personality type in the US, like historically. And it's really fascinating thing. I think it'd be interesting even if you're not introverted, that you can tell that Susan Cain is herself an introvert. Hi, Millie. You can tell that she herself is an introvert and that she sides kind of with introverts in a lot of her arguments. But this is good. Really like it. I'm hoping to finish it this week, though I might slow down a little bit with this and read the other 2 books I'm reading instead. The next book I started is Dear Life, Stories by Alice Munro. And I've only read the first story in this collection, so when I say I've started it, I mean I've literally just started it. And I've never read any Alice Munro. I know she is like a master, a goddess among women. I know. And I loved the first story I read. So I'll be continuing on with this throughout the week, and hopefully I'll get through this because it's not too long. Really like it so far. And then last night I was feeling like shit. I just felt so crappy, and I couldn't get into, like, Alice Munro's stories are kind of, I wouldn't say they're dark, but they're a little bleak. And the nonfiction book was just taking too much concentration for me to get into it last night. I was, like, all jacked up on some NyQuil, too, which is great. So I started reading Under Wildwood. This is another book that I'm reading for Read Kids Lit, and it's the second in a series called The Wildwood Chronicles. It's a middle grades book, and it's by Colin Malloy, and it's illustrated by Carson Ellis. I just got a little ways into this last night, but I might be reading some more of it tonight because I still don't feel great. And it's good so far. The story picked up pretty much where it left off, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, those are my Friday reads. I would love to hear in the comments about what you're reading this weekend. And if you have any questions about any of these books, let me know. If any of the 3 books I finished this week piqued your interest and you have any questions or want to see me do a full review, let me know. And I will see y'all soon. Bye.